The state of Delaware is having another vehicle surplus auction today. Today's the inspection period for the cars. There's about 65 cars total that they're auctioning off. The bidding is online at US Gov Bid. The bidding ends tomorrow night, but today's the auction period. It's about a 5-hour window that they open up all the cars, put all the keys in, and anybody who wants to check out the cars, this is the opportunity to do it. Now, there's 7 cars at this auction that I want to get a real close look at. There's 6 Crown Vics and 1 Caprice. The state always buys Vics in North Sea Blue. That's their primary color. Sometimes they'll have Sonic Pearl Blue and Gold. Now, the last time I was at this auction, it was summertime. It was August. And if you recall from some of my other videos, I bought a Tahoe PPV and Dodge Avenger. And that was my last time there. It's been a good 6 months or so since I've been there. That Tahoe, that thing has been nothing but a nightmare. That displacement on demand system has been an issue for me. And the whole issue is the guy I chose to replace the DOD system, to pull it out and put in a new cam and so forth. He's been jerking me around over and over again. It's a real shame because this guy's a friend of mine. He and I grew up together. We've been good friends ever since. We lost touch over the past 15, 20 years or so. More recently, stayed in touch through Facebook. And that's when I reached out to him and asked him if he wanted to take on this job. Now, he's been working on cars for 30, 40 years now. The guy's always been working on cars. He has his own shop. He knows what he's doing. But every time I call and follow up on the Tahoe, I always get the same response. Oh, I'm working on it. I'm getting to it. I got all these other jobs ahead of me. What I later found out is that he works 3 days a week. He's off Fridays and Mondays. And he's got all these contract jobs that he takes care of and he works on. He's get those cars in and out. And mine gets put on the back burner over and over again. It's been 5-6 months now. And I'm still waiting and I'm still pressuring the guy. But part of me says I just throw my hands up and just chalk it up as an experience and not go there ever again, obviously. I don't want to push too hard, but I want the damn Tahoe back at the same time. So let's get down to the auction, take a look at these cars, see what kind of condition they're in. There's some snow on the ground, so I'm a little disadvantaged here. We'll do the best we can. And we'll see what we want to come up with for a max bid on these cars. And hopefully, with fingers crossed, maybe tomorrow night, we'll get lucky and come home with a few. Let's get over there. I think one of the things I enjoy so much about coming down to the state auction is where it's at. It's in the sleepy little town. It's called Delaware City. It's right on the Delaware River. This town has one stoplight. The property where the auction is hosted at, it's a former military base. It's dates back to the Civil War. In fact, there's a prison on this base that Confederate soldiers were housed in during the Civil War. You can still see remnants of the past on the property, from the fairgrounds to some of the old buildings to the church and barracks. It's like going back in time. It's something I always enjoy. I always love coming down here and just checking everything out. All right, let's start with the Caprice. It's a 9C1. It's a 2011, 54,000 miles on it. Black, of course. The body is really clean on it. Nice condition. I see a ding right here on the fender. It's a 6-liter. Of course, it has the 6-speed transmission. There's another scrape over here in the paint. And that's through the paint. That's not something on the surface. I did a cold start up on it. There was no ticking with the engine. I get a sense that maybe the DOD system is okay on it. Hooked up a code reader and it said the evap system is on its way out. It's in yellow, so it's not bad yet, but it will be soon at some point. Interior is pretty clean. It's got the rubber floor mats, the 9C1 shifter. Two sets of holes on the dash. A vinyl rear seats. And the back door, inside door handles are deactivated. Bidding right now on this Caprice is at $4,400. The last one that I saw sold at the auction were in the $10,500 range, and I'm thinking if this should sell for about that same amount, plus or minus maybe $500 or so. So somewhere between 10 and 11 grand I would expect this Caprice to sell for, given the condition and the mileage on it. All right, number 932. It's a 2011 Crown Vic, 122,000 miles on it. Current bidding right now is at $750. There's a strange sound coming out of it. I don't know what that is. Maybe a pulley, maybe the alternator. We'll take a look in a minute. Silver. Decent tires. Usually I'm expecting rust right there on the fender. The side trim is kind of fouled up. Back tires are good. No police interceptor badges. They're all removed. Anything police related is taken off of these cars when they're decommissioned. Body looks pretty good. Just some scrapes, no big deal. Some scuff marks. Let's take a look at the inside. Looks like that tire's going to need to be replaced soon. Looks like the bumper's off a little bit. Maybe it got tagged. Maybe a parking curb. I'm betting they're factory headlights, so there's probably no front end collision damage on the car. Let's take a look inside. Doors are clean. Seat's pretty worn. That's weird. And you know, it looks crooked too, like the seat back is tilted towards the center of the car. Oh man, look at that steering wheel. What a mess. 4,000 hours. That's pretty typical with these cars here, at least. I'm sure it had a cage in the back. There's some marks up here on the headliner. And this is probably a plastic back seat, and they just threw this in there when they're decommissioning the cars. The seat feels firm. I'm surprised by that. It does feel crooked sitting in it. Let's see if we can figure out what the noise is under the hood. So that's the problem. The hood won't pop open. Whether it's the cable that's broken or the latch, can't get the hood up. Well, let's see what this one bids up to. Right now it's at $750. Look, if I can get it for $1,000, $1,200, I'll jump on it. I'll put in a new steering wheel, replace the driver's seat, figure out how to get the hood up, replace whatever's going bad inside the engine bay. For the right price, I'll jump on it. Let's see what it ends up tomorrow. Item number 915, a 2008 Crown Vic. The odometer is busted on it. It's not lighting up. I pulled a Carfax and it estimates 88,000 miles on this car. Bidding right now is at $225. And when I got down here, this is one of the cars I wanted to look at the most. You know, some minor scratches, not too big of a deal. Decent tires. One antenna hole in the trunk. The roof is clean. No antenna holes up there. And when I went to start it, it won't go into gear. No reverse, no forward, no nothing. Needs a transmission. Definitely nothing I want to get involved in. I don't want to mess with that. Right now, I just see it as a parts car and not much more. It's got a lot of good parts on it though. Item number 905, 2008 Crown Vic, 139,000 miles. Bidding's at $1,100 right now. Looks pretty clean. Looking for rust on the fender, and I don't see that. Tires are acceptable, but they're going to need to be replaced. Down the side, I'm looking at a few door dings, but the sheen's not right. I get a sense that the whole side's been swiped and repaired at some point. Two holes in the roof, one's not even covered. On the trunk lid, plenty of scrapes when the decals got removed. Same with the bumper. More door dings and scrapes. Let's get inside. Dead. clean, that's for sure. Real nice. Only 2 holes in the dash. Cloth back seats. Looking for leaks on the intake. I'm not seeing any. Pretty crusty and dirty. Not a big deal. You can tell the alternator's original to the car. It's in the same condition as the engine block. Ugh. Had the air conditioning on. This thing must have been sitting here since the summer. A lot of idle hours. Dash looks good. Oh, airbag. All right, airbag went out. Okay. Oh wait, it's back on. Considering the body damage on the side and the mismatch on the paint sheen, airbags, forget that. I'm not messing with this one. Next, number 904. It's 2010 Crown Vic, 155,000 estimated miles. Another car I had to pull the Carfax on to get the mileage since the odometer is dead. Had a spotlight. Bodies look good. Some scrapes. No big deal. Tires are good. Trunk lid doesn't have all the scrapes and burns on it. 1 plug. 2 on the roof. A little bit of discoloration on the trim, not a big deal. Tough to get underneath, but the body looks good. The mounts look good, on the shocks at least. They don't look all beat up and torn up. 2 holes, a ding on the door. And on the fender too. Headlights look clean and clear. Let's get inside, take a look. Another car with a dead battery. All right, let's jump. Item number 902, a 2007 Crown Vic, 148,000 miles. Bidding right now is at $1,050, $1,050. Not seeing any rust on that fender edge where it always shows. I got a door ding. Some scrapes in the door. On the trunk lid, the buffer just burned right through the color. No holes in the trunk, which is surprising. I've got good tires all 4 corners. Some small scrapes. Sticker shadows. A hole on the roof. Taped over, 2 of them. A ding in the fender. And some small scrapes on the hood. Headlights are pretty clear. The bumper though, looks like it has some age on it. Not too worried about that. It's not all banged up like some of the others are. Inside, all right, air conditioning's on again. What in the world? $48,000, 148, and then 4,100 idle hours, which is typical again. Clean steering wheel, clean doors. 2 holes again. Cloth back seat. Pretty clean actually. Oh, there we go. Ticket light's gone. Not a big deal. Let's turn off the engine, take a look at the belt. Looks fine to me. You know, this one's on my list. I like this one. I can deal with this. See what the bidding goes for tomorrow night, and maybe this one will come home. And here's the last car, 909. It's 2011 Crown Vic, 123,000 miles on it. Bidding's at $700 right now. This one has 2 dings in the fender. The paint's really nice on it. I'm sure that would come out. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Some discoloration. Looks like it could use tires. 2 holes in the roof, 1 on the trunk lid. There's some scrapes and burns on the trunk lid. The sides look really good. No rust on that fender lip. It's running now. It's really smooth. Looks good. The back seat. That's not going to work. And inside, pretty clean overall. Decent steering wheel. I got the heat on, nice and toasty in here. 6,200 idle hours. Doesn't bother me too much. I'm okay with this one though. Right now the bidding is at $700. Up top, the ticket light's missing. Some marks in the headliner. Oh, it looks like the defroster's disconnected on the passenger side. But let's see what this one ends up with. I'm interested in this one. So there we go. There's 7 cars that we came down to take a look at. On my list, I've got 3 that I'm really interested in. The first one is number 902. It's an 07 Crown Vic, had 148,000 miles on it. Remember, had good tires, had the missing ticket light. The trunk lid had some burn through on it. Right now the bidding's at $1,050. If I can get that car for $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, I'll be a buyer. The other is number 909, and that's a 2011 Crown Vic, 123,000 miles on it. Bidding's at $700. The ticket light was missing. That had the plastic back seat, if you remember that one. Again, $1,200. I'm happy with that one. We'll see where the bidding ends up on that one. And lastly, it's the Caprice, the 9C1, low miles, 55,000 miles or so. Over the summer, there was 4 of those cars that came through this auction, and they sold for between the 10 and 12,000 range. This one, you know, maybe to go for the same amount. I'm hoping this weather is going to keep some of these folks away, some of the bidders away. It has an EVAP code that's on the horizon. It's not throwing a code yet, but it's almost there. So there's a repair that's going to be needed, and of course you can count on the ticking. Even though I didn't hear any ticking from the engine, you can count on the DOD going bad on that at some point. So if I can swing that car for $700, $800, $8,500, $8,900, somewhere around there, I think I'd be a buyer on that. But I have little doubt that it will go for that little. So let me know what you think. What do you think about my 3 choices that I picked out here? 902, 909, and the Caprice. Yep. What would you pay for those 2 Crown Vics? Either one. And that Caprice too. What do you think a fair price would be? Let me know in the comments below. Also, I'm going to do a follow-up video once the auction closes tomorrow night. I'll do a follow-up, let you know what these things actually sold for. So, hope you liked the video. Be sure to subscribe, do a thumbs up, whatever. And as always, thanks so much for watching.